It's almost beyond parody, isn't it? Tommy Robinson, whose real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon, has once again found himself doing what he does best, occupying the dock at Westminster Magistrates Court with a flair for self mythologizing martyrdom. This time he's denying two counts of harassment allegedly committed via his Twitter account, directed at Daily Mail journalists between the 5th and the 7th of August 2024. He will appear at Southwark Crown Court on the 3rd of July and again in October on an entirely separate charge involving a refusal to disclose the PIN for his mobile phone to Kent police. One might ask, when does he find time for lunch? Robinson is no stranger to a prison cell or to a courtroom. In fact, he's been arrested over a dozen times and imprisoned at least 5 for fraud, assault, public order offences, and most notably contempt of court. His most recent spell ended on the 27th of May 2025, a week ago or so, when he emerged from HMP Woodhill, his beard fuller, his hair longer, and, if the rosary round his neck is anything to go by, his self-image more sanctified than ever. His last incarceration came after he admitted repeated breaches of a 2021 injunction related to a libel case he lost against a Syrian refugee named Jamal Hijazi. Robinson had falsely claimed in a now infamous video that the refugee had violently attacked schoolmates. He repeated this defamatory claim 10 times, including at a raucous Trafalgar Square rally. A court found these repetitions not only willful but contemptuous. A 4-month reduction in his sentence by the High Court didn't erase the fact that this was the latest in a long chain of Robinson's legal entanglements. But we must ask, with courts groaning under the weight of delayed cases and underfunded prosecutors, what does the ongoing Robinson circus achieve? He has, for all intents and purposes, become a professional defendant, seemingly more familiar with the rituals of bail conditions than with the laws of breaks. And this is not an excuse for his behaviour. Of course he's broken the law, but harassment of journalists is a serious allegation, particularly when tied to the aggressive online culture that he has helped to create and to cultivate. But there's something faintly absurd, even self-defeating, in the system's repeated and repetitive engagement with a man who thrives on playing the role of persecuted hero. Is this law enforcement or some form of new performance art? Each new case, each televised prison release becomes fodder for his ongoing narrative, that of the brave truth teller silenced by an establishment terrified of his message. But if we're honest, the drip feed of trials, sentences and appeals lends itself to, or all too well, to the melodramatic rhythm of modern right-wing populism. We must also be frank about the state of our courts. Delays in serious trials, from sexual assault to terrorism cases, now stretch for months, even years. Judicial time is not limitless. We're not in a Dickensian novel. One might reasonably ask, how many times can we keep dragging Robinson back into court before the theatre of it all eclipses the principle? If this is justice, or is it justice? I don't know, because is it just enacting the same farce over and over again at public expense? Shouldn't we be focusing our legal muscle on actual threats rather than giving a washed-up provocateur the very limelight that he so obviously craves? Robinson's July trial is unlikely to be his last. If recent history teaches us anything, it's that he'll be back. The charges may change: harassment, contempt, obstruction, but the posture remains the same: arms spread wide, eyes lifted heavenward, as if he was some tragic figure from the Bible, more likely from maybe I speculate not, but perhaps we need to break the cycle. Let the law apply firmly without the theatre, and above all, let's not mistake the defendant's talent for generating noise for any serious political message. Tommy Robinson is not a prisoner of conscience. He's a prisoner of consequence. Most of it is his own self-inflicted doings.